Start చేయాలా? Right. Mechanism of respiration. వస్తుంది కదా? Right. So next topic, last class discuss about the general respiratory system. What is the respiration? What kind of event takes place in the respiration? Discuss about this yesterday. Today I am discussing about the mechanism of respiration. So in this mechanism, two events takes place. One is the inhalation, other is the exhalation. Inhalation, the atmosphere air enter into the lungs. The action takes place in the inhalation. It means outside containing oxygen enter into the lungs is called as inhalation. Exhalation, inside containing carbon dioxide come and enter in the atmosphere is called as exhalation. These two events are continuously simultaneously takes place. When these two events are stopped, animal can get died. So that the inhalation and exhalation two events takes place in the mechanism of respiration. So in this mechanism of respiration, the following body parts are involved. One is the diaphragm. So generally lungs are situated in the thoracic cavity on either side of the heart. So below the one of the diaphragm is there. So on either side of the vertebral column, side bones and ribs are there. So when the ribs are relaxed and diaphragm will get down, so then what happens? The thoracic cavity expanded. When the thoracic cavity expanded, so inhalation takes place. When the thoracic cavity construction takes place, compressing takes place, at the time exhalation takes place. Relaxation, inhalation. So contraction, exhalation. These two processes continuously simultaneously takes place. Through the inhalation, oxygen available to the animal body. Through the exhalation, carbon dioxide sending from inside to outside of the animal body. These two events takes place. So before that, the important one principle is formatted. That is R is equal to D into A delta P by D. So here R is equal to rate of diffusion per unit time. R is equal to rate of diffusion per unit time. D is equal to the diffusion constant. A is equal to the area over which diffusion takes place. Delta P is equal to difference in the partial pressure of carbon dioxide, oxygen. So D is equal to thickness of membrane involved in the diffusion. So this principle is a very important. So okay, inhalation, exhalation, two actions are going on, but along with two actions, where the diffusion takes place, how the oxygen is entered, how much oxygen is available to the animal body, how much inhalation takes place, how much available to the animal body. This complete mechanism is described by the through this principle, that is R is equal to D into A delta P by D. Here R is equal to rate of diffusion per unit time. So D is equal to the diffusion constant. A is equal to area where the diffusion takes place. Where the diffusion takes place is a very difficult matter. So where the capillaries membrane, so alveolar membrane, so plasma membrane. So like the different kind of areas are involved in the diffusion. So delta P is equal to difference in the partial pressure of carbon dioxide and oxygen. So D is equal to thickness of membrane involved in diffusion. So like these are the major role plays. Rate of diffusion per unit time. So diffusion constant, area, as well as the partial pressure of carbon dioxide, oxygen. So membrane thickness involved. So this principle what happens? How much we are inhalation takes place, how much we are exhalation takes place. Through that is depend on the this principle. R is equal to D into A delta P by D. So next topic, transpiration of the gases. Two important respiratory gases are there. One is the oxygen, other is the carbon dioxide. The two important respiratory gases, how they are transpiration is through the inhalation, through the exhalation. But inhalation, exhalation, through the oxygen enter into the animal body, through the exhalation carbon dioxide sending outside. So after inhalation, what happens? Transpiration takes place. That is the carbon dioxide transpiration left. So oxygen transpiration. Now today I am discussing only oxygen transpiration. So oxygen is not transported in the form of oxygen. So oxygen first time should combine with the hemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin is formed. After that only it is transportation one place to the other patient. So before that I am discussing about hemoglobin, general molecule structure. So here ferrous ion is combined with the four important globule protein. So where the alpha globule two are there, other two are the beta globules. So four globules are there in the one hemoglobin molecule. So one globule molecule can able to carry capacity, one oxygen molecule can able to carry from one place to other place. Total one is hemoglobin. How many globules are there? Two alpha, two beta, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So that's why one hemoglobin molecule can able to carry 4 oxygen molecules. That's why. So in this transportation oxygen, so here when hemoglobin is compared to the four molecules, one hemoglobin molecule is compared to the four oxygen molecule, one oxyhemoglobin molecule is formed. So generally oxygen transportation takes place in the form of oxyhemoglobin. So then after what happens after that what happens? So it can distribute to that. But here two important events are takes place at the time of oxygen transportation, that is the loading and unloading. So in this loading means oxygen combined with the hemoglobin is called as loading. In the alveoli loading is takes place. After loading, they can transportation is along with blood circulatory system. So where the tissues unloading is takes place. Unloading means whatever hemoglobin, oxyhemoglobin reverse equation is going on. Oxyhemoglobin is divided into hemoglobin and oxygen molecule. So this is called as unloading. One is the first loading, other is the unloading. Through these two events, loading and unloading, whatever oxygen transportation takes place. After that, generally 97% of the oxygen transportation takes place in the form of oxyhemoglobin. Only 3% of the hemoglobin is transportation takes place in the form of dissolved condition in the plasma. So like that, total oxygen transportation takes place. Major depend on the hemoglobin only. So that's why hemoglobin is main important role playing the oxygen transportation. So before that, here two important now other condition is there, oxygen dissociation or oxygen association curve. So here association and dissociation, attachment and detachment, we have relationship between the oxygen and hemoglobin. Association and dissociation is depend on the oxygen dissociation. Oxygen dissociation curve is explained depend between the association and dissociation. Depend. So here in this graphical figure, so x in the x-axis percentage of saturation takes place. So y-axis whatever here partial pressure takes place. The partial pressure is increased, saturation of the oxygen is compared to the hemoglobin saturation increase. When the partial pressure decrease, so automatically what happens? Oxygen saturation decrease. It means the relationship between the partial pressure of the oxygen and percentage of the saturation is explained by the dissociation, oxygen dissociation curve. If the partial pressure is increased, automatically what happens? Saturation of the hemoglobin is increased. It means finally what is there? The partial pressure is influence on the saturation of the hemoglobin. So that's why here in this figure, generally the dissociation curve is sigmoid set is there. So generally the left side oxygen association with hemoglobin, the right side of oxygen dissociation from hemoglobin. So like that, generally this is the oxygen dissociation curve. Means finally in this oxygen dissociation or it is also called as association or equilibrium curve. Whatever it may be, oxygen dissociation curve is explained the relationship between the saturation of hemoglobin and partial pressure of the oxygen. So the partial pressure is increased, automatically saturation of hemoglobin will increase. The partial pressure increase and decrease, so automatically saturation of the hemoglobin also decrease. Through this, generally oxygen transportation, that is the 97% of the oxygen can able to transportation in one place to other place in the form of oxyhemoglobin. So 3% only transportation takes place in the form of dissolved condition in the plasma of blood. Total 97 plus 3 is equal to 100% can able to transportation from one place to other place. So tomorrow discuss about the carbon dioxide transportation.